So, of course, last week is when we got our first trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And now today, on this seemingly random Tuesday, this Tuesday morning, we get the official poster, which usually studios would release a poster alongside a trailer. They put out a trailer, and then, oh, here's the poster as well. But no, Sony was like, nah, let's wait a week and put the poster out then. And they did. And man, this is a good looking poster because it takes the the kind of cliche of doing the whole floating head poster type thing that we see on pretty much every movie here, where they got to cram in every character that's in the movie on the poster. And they do it here in such an efficient way because you still have Miles right front and center. His outfit, his Spider-Man suit is torn from battle scars and all that stuff. He's hanging upside down, so he is still the focus here. But in the background, you see just this army of spider people, Spider-Men, Spider-Women, spider robots, and cowboys, and animals, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And of course, we did talk about in the trailer breakdown for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse all the different Spider-Man variants that are featured in there. We saw the PS4 variant, we saw Spider-Monkey, we saw Spider-Man Unlimited, and now this poster gives us some great looks at some other Spider-Men as well. So let's take a look at them. So first of all, we have a great look here at Spider-Punk. Of course, you can see really emphasized right here that, each Spider-Man comes from a different universe. They're each going to have their own unique animation style, which is another really cool thing. Daniel Kaluuya is going to be doing the voice of Spider-Punk. And then we have our first look at Scarlet Spider, who we've seen in merchandise, but this is our first look at him in the movie itself. Also, Jessica Drew right behind him as well. And we have our first look at Spider-Cat in Across the Spider-Verse. This is a character I did not know was going to be featured, but Spider-Cat is going to be in here. And we also have our first look at Sun Spider in Across the Spider-Verse, a variant I'd never even heard of before until I saw this pointed out on Twitter this morning. Then you look closely right here, it's kind of hard to tell, but this does look very similar to the Japanese Spider-Man, which is something we've been teased with for a while now. Pretty much right after Across the Spider-Verse was announced, there were rumors and I think possibly even actual confirmation from the directors and producers themselves that Japanese Spider-Man was going to be featured here. So this is seemingly our first look at the character in this film. But what's interesting, though, is because we got that regular poster, but then the international version was also released, and this is a much wider, more expanded version of this poster, which gives us a great look at some other characters. I'll just do a quick little breakdown. You can see right here, that is Spider-Knight. We have Spider-Woman, Jessica Carpenter. There is, I forget what his name is, but, Cowboy Spider-Man right there. We have let's see, there's Scarlet Spider, there's Spinneret, aka Mary Jane, when she becomes a Spider-Person in the comics. That is, I believe, not Toxin, is that maybe 1000? Possibly, don't know for sure. There's the Bombastic Bagman, is that maybe an Iron Spider back there? But a whole lot of crazy Spider-Man variants, and then that's also possibly another Iron Spider. But then you go over to the other side, and this is where things get really interesting, because you have up front, you have Spider-Man India, you have a Spider-Man in a business suit, you have, I believe that is possibly Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Unlimited. You have Peter B. Parker, because of course he is the baby Bjorn that we saw featured in the trailer. We have Cyborg Spider-Woman right back there. But most importantly, if you look in the bottom right corner here, who is that? Who is this right here? Well, many Eagle-Eyed fans spotted this character and were like, wait a second, that looks exactly like the Spectacular Spider-Man, who, if you don't know the Spectacular Spider-Man, is legitimately the best version of Spider-Man of all time, or at least one of the best, but definitely the best Spider-Man cartoon. Spectacular Spider-Man, I grew up watching the show, and it's just amazing. It's like one of the best versions of Spider-Man, and the show was unfortunately canceled, not because the show was bad, because the show was amazing. The only reason it was canceled is just because of behind-the-scenes legality things between Sony and Disney and Marvel, and that's really the only true reason it was canceled. And so we never thought we would ever get to see this character make his return, but now, not only do we see a character that looks like him, but on Twitter, somebody actually asked Chris Miller, one of the producers on this film, hey, is that Spectacular Spider-Man in the bottom right? Yes. So we get right there, official confirmation, Spectacular Spider-Man is Spider-Man in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is something we have also been talking about for a while now. I remember doing a video about a year ago now, where Josh Keaton, who did the voice of Spider-Man in Spectacular Spider-Man, he was doing an interview and he was asked about this, and he basically said, oh no, I can't talk about that. And at the time, I remember we were talking about, if he's not in the movie, then he wouldn't have anything that he can't talk about. The only reason he would say that is because if he's in the movie and he had to sign an NDA and he can't talk about it, so chances are he's probably in the movie. And now we have not only our first look, but also actual direct confirmation that Spectacular Spider-Man is in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is absolutely insane. I'm so excited for this. You know, we've heard rumors about all the different SpiderVerse variants. Like I said, we saw Spider-Man Unlimited in the trailer. There's been rumors that Christopher Daniel Barnes could be returning as the 90s Spider-Man from Spider-Man the Animated Series. There's been rumors of Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. So who knows what other different SpiderVerse variants we're going to be seeing featured in this film. But I just know that I love the first movie, so I was already excited for this. But now we get all these additional bits and pieces of Spider characters showing up. It just gets me 10 times even more excited. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this brand new poster for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and confirmation of all these Spider-Verse variants, including the Spectacular Spider-Man? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything goes on in the Marvel life.